Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of American Soccer Quick Kicks. I'm your host, David Wright. The United States men's national team just got through playing a pair of friendlies this past week. The first one against Uzbekistan, the second one against Oman. I hope you got a chance to see those games with me. We won both of those games by comfortable margins. Uzbekistan, we beat them 3-0. With Oman, we beat them 4-0. And if all you saw was a scoreline, you might think, hey, we had a pretty good time of it. And, for the most part, we did. For the most part, it's fine. I don't think we need to be pushing any panic buttons, especially the Oman match. I thought we looked really strong there, at least for long stretches. The Uzbekistan game, though, was a little sketchier. It was a little frustrating. You'd like to see us control the match a little bit more. You'd like to see us put it away sooner. Even though we won 3-0 after 90 minutes, it was only 1-0. The other two goals both came in injury time and stoppage time. Ricardo Pepi, Florin Balogun scored first early in the match. Ricardo Pepi got a goal in extra time, and then we drew a penalty, and Pulisic converted the penalty kick from the spot late in stoppage time for us to end up with that 3-0 lead. I think the turning point, I don't know if you saw it, here's what I want to say. Both of these matches, we're seeing our biggest players. Like in both matches, when you've got Florin Balogun at the striker position with Pulisic on the left and Weah on the right. That's our front line. That's our top choice front line. That's who I want to see us continue to use as our main line starters. Those are the stars. Those are our main guys, the guys we want to go with up front. And in the midfield, we had both McKennie and Musa on the field. That's what we want to see. Usually we're seeing Tyler Adams in that midfield with them, the MMA midfield. Tyler Adams is hurt. He wasn't in this camp. I believe we started Luca De La Torre against Uzbekistan. He was someone that was on the World Cup roster and kind of on the fringes last year throughout qualifying. And he went out with a broken nose. And so when Tanner Tessman came in, we lost the midfield after that. Tessman didn't have a good match. He probably needed help. He was playing that defensive midfielder position, called the number 6 position, kind of by himself, and he didn't seem to be up to game speed, and he seemed to get rattled. And I hate to pick on a guy, but I think he was a large reason why we weren't able to put together a more complete match. And I don't know how many more looks we're going to get of him until maybe he's able to step up his game a little bit. I don't know. But when we have Pulisic and Weah and Balogun and Musa and McKennie on the field and Matt Turner in goal, who played in the first match and not the second one, this is our team, right? These are our guys. If you're a World Cup fan, if you tune in for U.S. matches only for the World Cup, well, this is part of what I'm hoping to do with this channel is to bring you along in the in-between years, get to know our team and get excited about our team. So when the World Cup does come around, you know who they are. You're familiar with the players and you care about the team. Well, these are those guys, okay? This is our A-list camp for the most part. It was a nice mix of new faces coming in, but we had our core star players. And so I hope you're watching these matches when you get a chance, because it's about becoming familiar with this team. I'm not going to get into, the details of any MLS team, but this is American Soccer Quick Kicks. This is our national team. So let's get excited together. This is the one team that we can all unite behind. These were friendlies, which means it was not part of a tournament, and it was just basically an exhibition to a certain extent. Nothing at stake, no points or trophies on the line, just two teams getting together and playing a match. Don't dismiss that. There's nothing wrong with friendlies. Okay, our schedule for the next few years is going to be dominated by friendlies. We'll have to play some Nations League matches, but I've given my feelings on Nations League before. I think Nations League is an excellent tournament that benefits the smaller countries of CONCACAF that otherwise don't get a lot of matches or a lot of or against competitive peers. It's great for them. I think it takes up too many dates in our calendar. We need to be playing tougher opponents. Uzbekistan and Oman were not tough opponents. We knew they weren't. They were also not our first choice. We were hoping to get Brazil and Argentina. Now, can you imagine that? As it turns out, that had to be changed because those countries have actually already started qualification for the next World Cup. The World Cup itself is sometimes, the entire tournament is sometimes referred to as the finals because, you can look at it as being more of a 2 or 3 year tournament because this is how early the qualifications start. Everything in international soccer revolves around the World Cup. We're already seeing teams having to play qualification matches. We don't have those because as a host, we're not going to have to go through qualification. And so our challenge is going to be getting our guys ready and getting them the needed experience in time to be able to do well when we're playing in 26. And so because we're not playing qualification, that means we're going to have more friendlies. We're going to have more open dates that we need to book with whoever we can find to be our opponent. And these are simply going to be friendlies. The trick is going to be to find tough opponents. We tried to get Brazil and Argentina. That didn't work out. We ended up with Uzbekistan and Oman. Next month, we're about a month away right now for the October window, and we're going to have much tougher competition. These are going to be much better matches, much tougher challenges for us. Our next game is October 14th against Germany. That one's actually going to be played in Nashville, which is in my area. I'm not going to be able to make it, but I'll be tuning in. And then on the 17th, we're going to be playing Ghana, which is one of the tougher countries in Africa, and we have a long history and World Cup history with Ghana. So those are going to be good matches. Germany and Ghana. Tune in for those. Also, keep an eye on the American Soccer Quick Kicks Facebook page because that's where I will do things like share the roster announcements whenever the U.S. has come in for a camp, or I'll put up match day kickoff reminders and things like that. Stuff where I either don't have time or doesn't make sense to a YouTube video for something that's so passing and topical. But if you just go ahead and follow that page, I share every YouTube post that I make gets shared on that page, but also I'm going to use it to do these little match day reminders and the roster announcements and other things like that, just some added content. So make sure to tune in for that. Anyway, this is our team. The Arena stuff is unresolved. Reina was not in this camp because he's hurt, so we still have that hanging over us. We don't know how that's going to play out. And it's interesting to watch the Berhalter Pepe drama, right? Because Pepe scored again, also against Oman. So Pepe's making the most of his chances, almost in defiance of Berhalter for leaving him off the World Cup squad last year. I think he now has like 6 goals in the last 5 matches for the U.S. or something like that. Balogun scored again against Oman, and so did Brendan Aronson, and who's one of my favorite players. He's one of those guys, we just have too much talent on the field. We can't start all our quality players, but when Aronson comes in, he always brings new energy to the match. Anyway, I'm going to cut it off right there. This is all about the United States men's national team. I hope you're going to follow this team. Just make a commitment to follow the U.S. team. You don't have to worry about MLS if you don't want to, but follow the U.S. men's national team. These are our guys, right? We are in the cycle right now for the most important World Cup that up to this point in our history, because it's going to be played at home with the best talent that we've ever had, and it's an opportunity to do something really, really special. It's already going to be a short cycle because of the last one being played in December. We're less than 3 years away from the next World Cup. Qualifications already started around the world. So tune in October 14th for our match against Germany, October 17th against Ghana. Those games can be seen on HBO Max and on TNT. So keep watching some soccer with me, and I'll talk to you next time.